Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 KWPN-NA virtual annual meeting. We have a really exciting program for you guys today. We'll start with our general meeting, and we'll have an update from the KWPN, the board, the MC, and various committees. Dr. Carrie Fino from UC Davis will be speaking about her research on C6, C7 issues in necks and kissing spine. She's a geneticist, and she's doing some work that runs pretty much with what the KWPN is doing. Bart and Vegan will be doing presentations of the premium ring, and Liz has some very exciting videos from farm visits and interviews with Olympian Sabine Schutt-Kelly, the Van Straten family, Gert Van Olst, and the Van Balen Farms and Dressage. We also have some very fun videos for the awards presentation. So it's going to be an exciting day. The program is on our website. It's under the news, so you can click on that to see the exact timing for everything. And in the question and answer, if you could please use the chat box for your questions, we'll be able to field them and have your questions answered. So with that, we will start off with the welcome from the chair, Caitlin. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 KWPN-NA annual meeting. I would like to start off by saying thank you to our AGM committee for putting this meeting together. There was a lot of hard work put into it, and yeah, I think they will have a nice program today. I would also like to thank our guest speakers, interviewees, special guests, and our sponsors for making this all possible. I will now introduce the board of directors. Myself, Caitlin Hamer, I'm the new chairman. Tracy Geller is our vice chair. Sandy Harper, our treasurer. Kathy Hickerson, secretary. Megan DeGarry, office liaison. Yost Severance, MC delegate, and our newest member, Bill Duffy. As some of you all may know, that we'll sadly have to say goodbye to our former chairman, Wim Casimir. We would like to thank Wim for all of his hard work and expertise that he brought to the KWPN-NA, and we would like to wish him the best of luck on his move back to the Netherlands. So for our 2024 accomplishments, it was hard to fit them all into a list on this slide, but I feel like some of the highlights were that we were able to renew our agreement with the KWPN in Holland. We were also able to update our member portal and to implement a searchable database, which is a very nice feature for all of our members to be able to access all of the horses in the KWPN-NA database. We have also initiated regional meetings. We had the first one last year at DG Bar, and the second one is coming up April 4th through 6th at Scott Tolman's farm. So if you're interested in that, please look up the information there, and if you can attend, that would be great. We have also created 2 curring circuits and also added some new and younger members to the judging team for the future. We had also a successful goods and service silent auction and stallion service auction to support our member programs and our organization. We have continued to support the North American Stallion Sport Test. We have also, in exciting news, received an early payoff of the office building in Oregon. So we no longer have any concerns about any defaults there. So that was a big one for us that just happened. And the MC worked very hard to help us do the Hunter Stallion approval finalization. Some goals that we have for 2025 are to continue making that member portal more functional for the members with adding credit card charging capabilities, registration and curring entries. And we are also in the process of trying to revamp some of our committees to include more member involvement. We're looking for some volunteers for the Stallion Committee. We also added on the Currying Committee, which I think will be very helpful in helping our hosts to have more functional currings and to make everything run smoother. And we also are looking forward to continuing to support and assist the regional meetings. And we're also open to suggestions. And I will hand it over to Carly for the MC.
Hi, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Carly Fisher. I chair the members committee. I own Clarion Farm outside Franklin, Mass. You guys met my husband last year when he did a farrier talk for you. I am a small breeder. I do a couple of dressage and jumpers a year. But we have a really wonderful, talented, dedicated group of people on this MC. I feel like many times we don't get to know who they are until you get a list to vote on and you're like, who are these people? So I'm just going to run down real quick who they are. We have Cheryl Mayberry. She's our Canadian representative. She is our secretary. That is a big job because we talk a lot. So thank you for trying to go through that and figure out what we're actually saying. She brings a lot of database and technical experience to our team. We have Anna, who I don't think needs any introduction. She's a longtime member and volunteer. She was on the BOD. She's also on the fundraising, the Stallion Committee, and has had a huge portion of any AGM any of us have been to in recent time. Then we have Lisa Dickman. She breeds dressage horses in Virginia. She also offers young horse training. She is the brainchild behind our podcast and has done an excellent job with that. We have Erica Sens, who's works in the higher jumper industry. She works at Astrom Sport Horses in Pennsylvania and Ocala. She is a whiz at website, SEO, all things computer, that I don't know how she does it. She has also been very, very instrumental in helping us update our hunter policies. And then our associate members are Renee Cash-Chong. She owns Dutch Equine Stables in Washington with her husband, where they breed dressage horses. They also have some horses in Holland. She, her day job is in real estate. She brings a lot of fundraising and sponsorship experience to the team. And then last but not least is Shannon DeBiser. She's a small jumper breeder from Oregon. She works in accounting, so we don't get to see her live at many of our AGMs. But she is a pedigree sleuth extraordinaire and our resident horse telex expert. So great group of people. I love working with them. The MC is the liaison between the membership and the organization. So if anybody has problems or there's issues, a lot of that goes through us. We try to, help people understand things, help mediate things, that kind of thing. So if anybody ever has any issues, questions, comments, things you think we should do better, feel free to reach out to us at any time. Some of our accomplishments are we've continued our podcast. Lisa's done a spectacular job with that. If you haven't listened to it, it is on Spotify. So please listen to it, follow it so we can get some more playtime. We have continued to go through the hunter requirements. Last year, we redid a lot of the predicate requirements as they have changed a lot of the divisions and stuff in the hunters recently. And we are excited that now we finally got the hunter stallion approvals through sport finalized. So hopefully we can get some more nice hunter stallions into our books. And then we have continued to work with our awards program. Our dressage all breeds award program is great. Everybody knows about it. It's a wonderful program. We've tried to reach out into our other disciplines and maybe get some more awareness over there. So this year we went through and pulled out some people off the USF Hunter jumper lists and tried to reach out to them. So hopefully we can get some more awareness and everything going in there. So next year we will continue on all of this fun stuff. If you guys have anything else you think that we could do or do better, as I said before, feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you.
We're going to switch over to Tracy Geller for the fundraising committee report.
Yep, I can do that. Sorry.
And I apologize, I do not know where these red scribbles are coming from. Are you all seeing them?
Yes,
I don't know what they are. Sorry.
original artwork.
Yes. Sorry about that.
So I'll just go through this slide quickly for y'all. Our fundraising committee report, our two big fundraisers are our stallion service auction, and then we have the goods and services auction. Your admins for both of those have been myself, Tracy Geller, and then Liz Van Worden. I headed up most of the stallion service auction, and Liz took the leadership on the goods and services, excuse me. But for our stallion service auction, this is the 2024 result. So this is not the one that we just did, but the one previous. Our team members were Megan DeGray, Shannon DeBusser, Kelly Station. I'm sorry if I'm butchering everybody's names. Drew Kemmerling. We had 50 lots representing 64 stallions. 31 of those were hunter, jumper, or eventing. 24 dressage, 5 harness, and 4 gelders. Our auction raised about $47,625, and we were less. We pay a fee to the auction website, and so that was about $447.57 approximately. And 78% of our bidders covered the auction fees. So thank you to those of you that bid and covered that for us. That does help us raise more funds. Our 2023 results, we raised $57,038. So we were a little bit less, about 10,000, but we also, I think, had fewer stallions. And breeding, I think, is changing a bit the climate. But anyway, 2025, the one that we just did, we raised $33,625, and we're less, $226.46 in our fees for that. So that was the one we just did. Anyway, silent auction, which was goods and services. We have a lot of donors to thank for that. A lot of you guys that are listening. We have a lot of other parties that help us and contribute. So thank you to everybody that's worked on that, and also if you're a contributing donor and a bidder, actually. So again, our admins for that were myself and Liz. Our team members for that auction were Caitlin Hammer, Anna Beal, Judy Reggio, Kelly Station, and Drew Kemmerling again. We had 94 lots to include tack, feed, KWPN merchandise, riding lessons, artwork, advertising, promotional, and lots more. So it's an auction that's open for all kinds of good stuff. And we raised $14,993, less our fees of $57.70. And then 87% of our bidders covered the fees there. So thank you again. We look forward to doing these for you guys every year. They are a good bit of work, but I feel like we offer a lot of really nice benefits to our stallion service donors, and then also to the people, the donors giving us the silent auction items. Liz does a really great job of promoting all this on social media. We've changed how we offer advertising packages to the donors, especially for the stallion service auction, to make that more appealing to them, because we know that they're asked for a lot from people, and we want to make it so they feel like they're getting value added services by supporting our auction. So we try really hard to ask for some nice horses to come to that, and then also to make everybody feel like their donation is valuable and appreciated. So thank you to everybody that's participated and bid and donated and worked on it. So that's all I have.
On to you, Sandy.
I got it now. Who is that scribbling there?
I think there's an edit, but I'm afraid to touch it right now. I will hope to fix it on the break.
Okay. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's Sandy Harper. I'm giving the financial report. So go ahead, Kel. Okay, this is the final 2024 versus our budget. As you guys all should know, that we do have a budget that we try to compare to on a monthly basis on all our accounts, and we do monitor this. We take that budget from the last 5 years or so to analyze what we should have. The year-to-date revenue for 2024 was $558,769, and we expect the budget to be $568. So we were 2% less than our estimated revenue budget. Our total year-to-date expenses versus full year budget was 575,368, and we expected it to be 566,372. So we were actually a little bit more, and that should be in green. Anyway, and not a frowny face. Then our 2024, no, go back, Kel, sorry. Our 2024 recurring judge's fee was paid in 2024, so that was good because that kind of accumulated over the last few years. Our net income was only it was negative 16,598, but we hope that we can adjust this in the future. And we do have a cash basis, so we hope everybody pays on time. And we monitor this every month. So next one now, Kel. So okay, the comparison to 2023, registration, membership, and fundraising incomes fell 2.3% and 4.2% and 9.7% respectively, leading to a gross profit that was 2.8% less than 2023. The silent auction and stallion service auction were slightly reduced amounts in 2024. Expenses in 2024 were a bit less than 2023 due to the time payments of judges, the on-time payments of judges, currings, ribbons, and microchips by about 2%. Our net income was 0.32% less than 2023, both years at a loss of about 16,000. All financial indications still show the growth of our organization, and with any extra income that we get from support for continued support of our currings, regional AGMs, awards, futurities, and educational program, we should bring our revenue back up. And we were looking forward to great stuff in 2025. Next one, Kel. Okay, this is the bank account. So as it was mentioned, we did get our, Caitlin mentioned it, we did get our payment of our office building in Oregon, so that was great. But we began with a balance of 3 separate accounts of $712,817, nice number. And then in December 31, 2024, we had $726,455. In January 2025, the Oregon property was paid off, so February report is better for the bank account. Our bank account growth remains positive for the past 4 years. Supporting factors have been pretty good results from the SSA, silent auction, and good membership and registration, and income from the sale of the Oregon office building. Next one, Cal. And that's we sold it off. I think closing we were 98,993, and that was paid. That was in December 31st or January, and then we were paid off. Going over the terms was a 15 years, so they paid us off in 5, so that was great. And it was due in 10, and from November to 2019. And however, now we're paid off, and it's great. They had sold the property twice while we were owning it, and it was while they were paying us, and it got a little dicey the last owner that had the property, so they would pay maybe every 2 or 3 months. But we're done, and that's good, and we have a good balance in the checking accounts and all the accounts. And I think that's the last one for me, Kel. Oh no, sorry, this is February 2025. So this is where we're at as of 3 days ago or 4 days, a few days ago. Again, we're based on our past 5-year performance for the budget. This is our budget this year. We're hoping to have about 8,000 in the bank, or make a profit of 8,000 at the end of the year. Currently, we're at 4% under budget for revenue and 4% under budget for expenses, which is kind of good. We budgeted for 587,200 for revenue, 579,179 in expenses, and we're hoping to net 8,000. As it's a nonprofit, and of course, our objective is always to break even, but it does help to keep our bank accounts healthy. And actually budgets have been working for the last 7 years that I've been doing it, so that's good. And we do report this once a month in our board of directors meeting as required by SEC or whoever. So we are a nonprofit and it's working out pretty well to keep our budget healthy. And thank you all for your participation. And it's been a great last year was great. Let's hope 2025 is better even. Okay. There's you, Kel.
It's up to us now. So the office continues to run efficiently. Drew is now in her 9th year working with the KWPN of North America, and I am in my 8th. Rachel, our office assistant, has now been with us for 1.5 years. She does a really great job with getting papers, microchips, and other shipments out in a timely manner. She's now being able to help us with day-to-day operations, answering phones, getting forms and documents to people. She's been a real asset to us. We added a text phone line where people can, if they really have to, they can send pictures of documents if they need to, if they have trouble with email, don't have a scanner or fax. So that's kind of helped with our communication. The phone does go with our judges on the Curring tour, but they've been really good about forwarding us any messages that come in. But this has allowed them to have a mobile hotspot to run the iPads more effectively at the Curring. So that's been a really big plus. We're all continuing to cross-train as much as we can for better efficiency. Customer service continues to be our top priority, and we're always looking for better ways to better support our members. I think one of the biggest issues is the new portal, which we were really excited about. The searchable portal has been fantastic. The processing in the portal changed drastically from those of you who are used to using the old portal. You were able to input your credit card information and upload photos. We didn't realize that wasn't going to be an option with this, and we are urging our database company to get that option back on there. Right now, we have every registration we get, anything, we have to immediately invoice people through QuickBooks Online, and that's just kind of slowed processes down a little bit for us. So we are really hoping to get that credit card processing back in as soon as possible, as well as uploading the photos. But otherwise, you know, people don't seem to have too much trouble just getting those emailed in. And I think Drew and I we love working. We've been here a good long time now and enjoy our membership and really enjoy it. Anything to add?
Not really, just that we really do love working here. And I think having a 3-person, very close-knit team has really, you know, been beneficial to us, the organization, and everything. And we just thank you guys for your support because we love it.
Absolutely. And I'm really going to try and get these red scribbles off. I'm so sorry. So it looks like we're going to have a short break. And I think we have some promotional videos to show during there, and we'll be back shortly.
Kelly,
Yes, ma'am.
I think there's a Q&A on the
Okay.
calendar. Or not. If anyone has any questions.
Yes, if you have questions, please use the chat box and we can field your questions that way.
Oh,
Wim.
Wim.
Thanks, Wim. Wim, a lot of these are for you. You have a lot of well wishes. But are some funds invested? That is a question. Sandy, do you want to take that and explain the CDs?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I guess I could explain that more. Yeah, we decided when the banks were going and stuff, and we were worried about banks failing and we would have over 250 in the bank and lose money. So we started dividing our money between different organizations. So we did put in Fidelity Federal, we took, or Fidelity investments, we put 200,000 in there. And the amount was divided into different CDs that, I monitor, and when they expire, or they're called, change over to another one. We started out not a huge amount of interest, and then as the interest rates went up, we got we were almost at 5.5% on one of the accounts. And we grew our $200,000 amount to 219, or almost 220 now. So 20,000 was made on those accounts. It was pretty good to have that money coming in. And it's all still in the account, being reinvested as we go. Then as far as the Bank of America account, we have 240 in there. We're not investing it. And then in the Chase account, we just keep that as our savings, and also our checking account. So we've grown the amount, and of course that 99,157 on the Oregon building helped that account in January very much. So it grew by quite a bit. Does that answer your questions? You good, Tracy?
I think that's all the questions I saw.
Is it really? Oh. Then there's a lot of thank yous.
There are.
That's nice.
If anyone has any questions, you can put them in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, there's Wim thanking. Oh, he's on
Yep.
iPhone 5.
Yep.
Great. Okay, I'm muting me.
Thank you, Sandy, and Tracy, and Carly, and Anna.
And actually, I would like to thank the AGM committee. I forgot to do that in my opening speech, but we're a very nice committee. It's myself, Cindy Harper, Judy Reggio, Yo Severance, Liz Van Voorden, Kelly, of course, and Caitlin Hammer. And we are looking for new members for the AGM meeting for the upcoming 2026 meeting. So if you're interested, please shoot us an email. But yes, thank you for the committee. They've done an excellent job, and Liz has done an outstanding work with all the videos and streaming and all the presentations and the PR that she's done. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. We have a new question in the chat. Tracy's asking if we can share the costs involved with a currying tour. It might be good to share with all the members, what a currying tour usually costs.
Kelly, I'm looking for my presentation from this month. So it was in there. I believe we lost money. We always lose on the currings. We always lose on a lot of things. So we try to cover that with our money coming in. We're not for profit, so this is great. But I believe we lost about 20,000. But if I can find anything. Sorry, wasn't ready for your questions, Tracy.
No, Tracy says sorry for her question, but I actually think it's a really good question. Because it might be nice to just expand a little bit. We have a little bit extra time now because we expected maybe a little bit more questions in the chat in this part.
I really didn't want to go into too much detail on, because it's kind of boring. Finances is boring, but this is probably interesting. So let me just see where this is.
Yeah, so people understand what's involved in putting on the current earnings and what it does to our finances, and it's a good question.
Yeah. So this is I don't know if I can share it, but oh, there. No, that's not it. That was 2023, 2024. There you go, Kelly. I'm sorry. Okay, so thank you, Kelly. Yeah, there it is. The entries were almost 60,000, but the expenses were 90,000, 90,580, and judges' fee were, they totaled the most, of course, 51,184. So we did lose 30,642 on the 2024 curring. So, anybody have any other questions on that?
And I do think there's been greater loss in previous years.
Yeah,
We've,
yeah.
I think it's,
I'm looking at 2023. That's the one I pulled up, unfortunately, and it was 45,884. So, and the judges at that time were $50,087, and the entries were only 55,510. So, it pays to get the entries in. Plus, we've decided a long time ago that we weren't going to raise the entry fees, and I'm hoping we can maintain that because this is what we owe our membership, is to give them support on how to get, keep their horses being bred and being judged, and this is our method of support. So it's not anything we're trying to make money on. It's just something we need to do. Okay, you just got a question.
Could you explain what the expenses are? Question from Judith in the chat.
The expenses? Well, that Kelly, you can answer that best, right?
I will, yes. So, we pay for the judges when they come over here. We pay for all of their travel. That's every flight, every rental car, every hotel, all of their
Meals?
food. Yes, all of
Yeah.
their meals. And then they have their flights in and out of the country. And now with the four judges, instead, Bart used to be on the tour the entire time and just one other judge coming back and forth. So now we have four judges coming back and forth. And actually, with the Vigon and the other harness horse, we actually have six. Um, so technically, we really have three circuits because we have the two riding horse curring circuits, and then we have two harness horse currings, and that's a separate set of judges that come in for that. And then the biggest is the day rate for the judges' fees. The KWPN charges us a daily rate for each judge, and that does include their travel days. So that really adds up, but it's something that we've always known we were going to provide for the membership. It's the most integral part of our breeding programs, and to support our breeders, we feel it's very important. And as Sandy said, we do not want to up our class prices. I think I've seen forms from years ago, well before when I started here, and we've not changed prices, membership price, anything. We actually even adjusted down the older horse registration cost, trying to make it as cost effective for you all as we can while providing as much service, awards. But obviously the inspections and the curring tour is very important to our breeders to know that they're making the right choices, having the judges help them with their choices. And, we know we lose money on that, but it's an expense we are more than willing to take on to maintain cost for you all and continue providing that service, because it is vital, I believe, to everyone's breeding programs. And we are always hoping to expand, looking for new curring hosts and locations we've not been able to get to. We are finalizing the curring tour, and we'll be able to announce it after the AGM next week. And we have the curring committee now, which I'm incredibly grateful for the support. And they also, they've helped me plan the tour, but also they'll help be a support system for hosts, especially new hosts who maybe haven't done this before and are just looking for some guidance, help, and suggestions. We're planning on putting kind of a really good informational packet together that will be a good resource for the host and even potential new hosts for future years to look at to see what's required and what all it takes to be a host. So we are constantly looking um, for new hosts, and we do our best to try to work them into the schedule. We obviously have our tried and true locations that have consistent, strong attendance every year. For those that maybe haven't had as good of attendance, we might tend to go to an every other year rotation with those so that we can try to continue to support that area, but maybe not be able to do that every single year. So I think that's the majority of what expenses are incurred. I went a little longer with that, sorry.
Thank you, Kelly.
Did you mention the AGM yet?
What we lose on the AGM?
What we lose? Yeah, I just looked it up.
No, I can pull this up
Yeah, here
from
it
last
is.
year as
There you
well.
go. Yeah.
So I'll let you go into that one a little more. You're better. You know more about that than I do.
Just a little bit is so we use the silent auction income to offset our loss on the AGM. But basically, if we didn't use the silent auction income, we would have been about $26,000 in the hole on AGM. So we do have the AGM has always been pretty much operated at a loss. The silent auction always helps it a little bit, but last year's AGM we lost $7,000. So that's why we're going to later on talk about, that's why we're having a virtual this year. And then later on we'll talk about, how to do this, and with the regional meetings, how to offset extra costs that one large AGM brings. And and then we only have 60 to 70 people attend. So we're trying to make it a little more universal for our country, because a lot of people can't travel for 4 days to one location, because it's always has babies coming, foals coming, things happening, breeding. So that's why we made this virtual this year. So anybody have any other questions?
I don't see any right now. Is anybody gonna add anything or need me or Sandy or I to expand on anything? I'd like to add, I've always been so appreciative of our the board and the support that they give the office and the MC and the AGM committee. I mean, it's just even the 2.5, 3-person office that we have. We rely very heavily on our volunteers, and Sandy has been an exceptional treasurer and does an amazing job of reporting every month, and it is a lot of work for her. And personally, I'm very grateful for her support and helping with the financial part of it. There is a question here, Diana Murphy. Would anyone consider an on-farm inspection for a breeders whose location is between 2 other locations that are 5+ hours north and south? Private currings are something that have never actually been possible, especially with the really tight travel schedule that the judges typically have. I will say on the East Coast, they have been doing more driving. Bart used to have, basically, if it was over 4 hours, he basically, let me say, if it's under 4 hours, he would drive. But with flights being a problem, airports being very difficult to maneuver, he has actually upped that to about 7 hours now that he's willing to drive. I don't know that that would be possible because whether they're having to catch a flight or drive a decent long distance, if anything like that ever could come about in the future, which is something the board would have to discuss and decide on, it would have to be extremely specific requirements, going in the right direction, X number of miles, not out of their way, and what is the size of the curring that they have that day. Some currings, they're done at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and they might have a little bit of time to breathe before they have to either head to the next location or to the airport. But some of our larger sites, they are there until 5 o'clock, and they scrambling to make their flight or to drive. They have had some brutal travel schedules the last couple years. Twice, 2 years in a row now, their flights out of Canada have been canceled. That's been interesting and miserable for the judges. We've been very fortunate that I'm not even saying that it's always worked out. And but it would have to be really, really, really specific and very difficult to even determine if that's possible, because we don't know how many entries we're going to have until about 3 weeks before the currings actually start. Yeah. One thing that's always been, I think, a question and that people have asked, we have a minimum entry requirement for most locations, and it's always been, I think it's $2,000 of entries per site. And again, with this one, it would just depend on how big the New Hampshire curring would be and the driving time to ISF. If it's too far off the path, and it's a timing thing. I'm afraid it would not be something that we could guarantee or plan ahead of time, because again, not knowing how many entries each location is going to have and how much time those judges will have to get to the next location.